Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever sat on the couch at night, book open, child next to you, and thought, why does my child hate reading so much? And is this somehow my fault? Maybe reading time turns into tears. Maybe it turns into arguments. Maybe your child just flat out refuses. And somewhere in the middle of all that, a quiet thought creeps in. Am I failing my child? If that question has ever crossed your mind, stay with me, because today we're going to talk about why reading resistance happens, why it's not your fault, and what actually helps when forcing reading just isn't working. If we haven't met yet, I'm a licensed reading teacher. My name's Joanne, and I'm also a certified reading specialist. I spent over 16 years tutoring students online, many of whom have dyslexia, ADHD, or both. And I want you to know something right away. I've worked with amazing parents. They're engaged, they're loving, and they are consistent parents whose children still hated reading. So if you're feeling discouraged, I want you to know that I see you. Here's what we're going to break down in this video. Why some kids resist reading so strongly. Why just practice more often backfires. What to do when reading causes nightly battles. How audiobooks and assistive technology tools actually support literacy. And how to help your child without damaging your relationship. By the end, I want you to leave with clarity, relief, and a plan, not guilt. Recently, I read a post from a parent that just seriously stopped me in my tracks. And she wrote, "My daughter hates reading with a fiery passion, basically refuses to do it at home. Her school keeps telling us to just practice more, but it's a battle every night. It makes me feel like a failure because my kid hates reading and will never be good at it." If you've ever felt that same mix of frustration, shame, and helplessness, please hear this clearly. You are not failing. Your child is not failing. And forcing reading is not the solution. Here's something many parents are not told. For some kids, especially those with dyslexia or ADHD, reading isn't just hard, it's exhausting. These kids spend all day at school trying to keep up, trying to focus, trying not to look confused, trying not to feel different. And by the time they get home, their brains are done. And when we ask them to read again, what their nervous system hears is, do the thing that makes you feel bad about yourself one more time. Now, according to the International Dyslexia Association, which I'm a member of, many children with dyslexia associate reading with repeated failure. Add ADHD, and now you're also dealing with attention fatigue, low frustration tolerance, emotional dysregulation. So when a child refuses to read, it's not defiance, it's self-protection. Now, I know teachers mean well when they say, she's bright, it'll click if she just practices more. But dyslexia doesn't work that way. For many students, more exposure to text without proper instruction actually makes things worse. In fact, if they keep practicing and they keep making mistakes that nobody can hear or see or correct or help with, it builds the neural pathways to look at that word and say it that way every single time. It makes it deeper and deeper and deeper, and it makes it harder to correct. Why? Because without explicit teaching and phonemic awareness, decoding, and fluency, reading practice sometimes becomes guessing practice. And this is why kids will fall into that guessing pattern. Guessing leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to avoidance. Avoidance leads to resistance. And this is important. If your child isn't progressing, it's not because you're not doing enough. It may be because they need a different kind of support. Now, this is where I'm going to give you permission that you might not realize that you need. If reading at home is damaging your relationship with your child, it's okay to stop forcing it. Let school, and if needed, specialized tutoring, handle the heavy instructional work. At home, your priorities, they can shift to connection over compliance, curiosity over curriculum, and confidence over control. And this is not giving up. This is protecting your child's emotional safety, which is essential for long-term learning. Now let's clear this question about audiobooks up once and for all, because audiobooks are not cheating. They are one of the most powerful tools that we have for struggling readers. Audiobooks allow children to access grade-level stories without decoding fatigue, build vocabulary and comprehension, and fall in love with stories again. And yes, this is fully supported by reading research and literacy organizations. So if your child listens to books in the car, at bedtime, or during quiet time, that counts. Here are some parent-tested, research-backed strategies that can actually help. 1. Use audiobooks. You can use Learning Ally, Audible, Epic, and when kids work with me, I give them access to Kids A to Z, where they can listen to as many books as they want. You can try assistive technology like text-to-speech. I love using WhisperFlow because I can just say whatever is on my mind and it puts it into complete sentences. Introduce typing early. Teach them how to actually type the letters on the keyboard. This is absolutely huge. Kids might struggle with their penmanship and all of those things, and when you put them into the computer, they have to add that space, and so now their words aren't forming in next to each other. Read aloud together. No pressure, no quizzes, no nothing, just absolute pleasure together. You read a page, they read a page. Build language through conversations, through storytelling, and seek structured literacy tutoring if progress has stalled. Notice the theme here. We're supporting literacy without forcing pain. Is it okay to stop those nightly reading battles? 1,000 times yes. You are allowed to say, this isn't working for us right now. You're allowed to protect the peace in your home. You're allowed to trust your instincts. Let go of what reading should look like and focus on what your child can do right now and build from there. I want every parent watching this to hear this clearly. Reading resistance is not a reflection of your parenting. It's information. It's your child's way of saying, I need something different. And the fact that you're here, learning, questioning, advocating, means you're doing something right. There's hope, there is help, and there's a way forward that doesn't involve nightly tears. And if you'd like support from someone who truly understands this journey, I work with students across the United States using structured, science-based reading instruction, always with compassion. You can schedule a free consultation or reach out to learn more. No pressure, just a conversation. I want you all to know this. You're not alone. I want to thank you for being the kind of parent who keeps asking what else is possible. And I hope to see you in the next video.